Guten Morgen, mein Freunden. Dieser hier ist Mossbres, and in this video I want to talk about Nofap and semen retention. So, people often go into Nofap thinking that they're going to gain all the material wealth and they're going to, gain the approval of others around them, But I feel like that's not the best way to go about it. You see, there's nothing wrong with pursuing those things, and there's nothing wrong with achieving those things in life. But to base your entire life around the perception of others and the approval of others and gaining society's approval is a trap in of itself. Now, I've always had the instinctual awareness to realize that there was more to life than, playing a role, playing a character that wasn't authentically you, just so you could gain the approval of others. And because biologically I am not in, alignment with that type of reality, because genetics at the end of the day determine a lot of that. In order to increase the vitality of the species, certain breeds definitely have more success in that way. But I feel like the ultimate goal with Nofap and semen retention shouldn't be to gain, gain approval from others, gain approval from people around you, because people often, they complain that they reach a flat line after a certain amount of time. It's like 30 days in, 2 weeks in. It varies from person to person, but they complain of reaching a flat line, and this flat line they just feel emotionally dead. They don't feel the vigor they once had. And you see, this flat line, I feel like, is coming to the realization that Nofap in of itself does not achieve all of these things. To gain a lot of this type of approval and to gain a lot of these results, it's genetics that matter at the end of the day. But Nofap in of itself can oftentimes be more rewarding than achieving these, these fleeting pleasures that we may receive in life. Not saying you should reject the material world entirely, unless you want to become a monk or something like that, which I have considered myself. But at the end of the day, you want to fully realize who you were at a certain point and fully become that version of yourself again, regardless of what you receive. So it's like, with Nofap and semen retention, past this so-called flat line. The flat line, I feel like, is a realization of the truth behind it, and a period of peace, and a period of, being one with yourself and ignoring the distractions, and, having more vital imagination, seeing the world again as you did through a rose-colored tint as you might have many years ago. And I feel like that in of itself is the end goal. Retaining that rose-colored tint, becoming what you once were again, but integrating your current self as well. So you may have once felt fear around others that you felt, may have been better than you in some way, not because you instinctually know that, but because you've been conditioned to feel and think that way. So the end goal, I feel like, with Nofap combined with semen retention, because, if you're thinking about, stimuli all day and you're distracting yourself, you're losing the benefits, If you're scrolling through, internet, looking at the next stimuli all day, it's like, you're not going to achieve that focus and you're not going to achieve that peace of mind. The end goal is to feel, content with who you are, and to become who you were once again, but also, when confronted with the reality, the so-called reality around you created by the great Archon, you no longer feel fear in its presence. You feel fully yourself. And by integrating, these energies, these vitamins you would lose, through expelling these vital nutrients, and by retaining these vital nutrients, and by letting them become one with you through Kundalini meditation, I feel like is very effective in that regard. By doing so, you become more in alignment with your true self, and you do not feel intimidated by those and by the things and situations you may have once felt intimidated in due to a socially conditioned response that, is unnatural to you, and that by feeling this lack of self, and, the nutrients help as well, but this lack of core self, who you are, is what made you feel inadequate, mostly due to social conditioning by the great Archon. You let go of that completely, and that, I feel like, is the end goal in combination with these two things. Done.